Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and it's time to get started on the Dephemerember prompt list. Well, there was a new one, and it's hosted by Luise, Heinzl, and Barbara from 49 Dragonflies. And so the very first prompt was a secret prompt that Ephy sent, and so he wants us to make something using a door. So we're going to do that, and I've already written down Ephy letter and door, and it's for the first prompt for the opening, and then there's going to be another one on the 31st. So let's go ahead and make that one for the opening. So what I've already prepared is I'm going to create a door, but I also have some little elements that are going to sit in front of the door. So we're going to cut these out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut those out, and now what I'm going to do is this little holder. Let's see. I cut these out twice, but we're going to be altering it. So on the first part of it, I'm going to make like a slit around these edges, which is where these little coffee cups are going to fit down into them. So I'm just going to carefully cut down into there. Just be really careful if you do it this way. You could use a knife, but I'm just going to use my scissors. I'm just going to go down just around a portion of where this cup is sitting at. I'm not going to go all the way to the end. Well, actually I could, because I could, I'm going to be gluing it together anyway, so yeah. But I'm not going to cut it all the way. Or I could cut it all the way, because I'm going to be gluing these back together anyway. But I just needed room so that this cup can slide down into here. You know what I mean? So that was the whole point. And I made this a little bit bigger than I did the little cup. I just got these little images off of Canva. So we're just going to ink that up a little bit, because we want that sturdy. Well, we want it sturdy, but I want the color in there too. And let's see. And I've already inked up the edges of the other ones too. So and these are going to get glued together, because this cup is going to go down in here. And this cup is going to go down. I want it to go down in here. So yeah, I'm going to have to, looks like I'm going to have to cut it after all the way across, which is fine. And then I'm going to have to assemble it back together. This right here is going to have to get cut so that we can put it in sections. So let's just ink that up. So how have you guys been doing? How far along are you with your prompts? Have you all been trying to get ahead? That's what I want to do, but I haven't. I've been working, so I haven't gotten to get quite as far ahead as I want to, but I think I'll be able to get caught up. Okay, so we got it like that. Now I'm going to remove my cups, because I'm going to do something with those in a little bit. And I'm going to remove my little, well, I'm going to emboss the sign from Ephy, because this was printed out on an inkjet printer, and I want it pretty tough, and I want it, not tough, but I want it sturdy. I want you to be able to see it. The image is pretty good. So I'll probably do the same thing with this little door dash. And then this is that little letter that was printed out from Luise and Barbara. And so I just when you print out your freebie for it, you can find it on the blog, on Luise Heinzl's blog, and or hers and Barbara. And you can, I downsized it so that it would print like that. And we're gonna basically glue this together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. It's gonna be like a front and the back. So let me make sure I've got this letter turned the right way. Let's see. I don't want it upside down, you know. Well, I did have it upside down. Okay, like that. So let me get my glue. I'm going to glue this together. Okay. And now I'm going to emboss some of this stuff. And for these here, I'm just going to use, I think I'll use just this Distress Glaze, Micro Distress Glaze by Tim Holtz. And I'm just going to run just a little bit across the front of it. Do the same thing with the little Ephy. And the reason why I'm doing that is because once I put that embossing powder on there and emboss it, I can add some other colors and it won't affect my inkjet printing. So you can still see the words behind it too. So that's the primary reason why I did it like that, or I'm going to do it like that. And so on this first bit, I'm going to use some clear embossing powder by Ranger. Detail embossing powder. And let me move my other little things. You just need a little bit of that. I just want to make sure I run it in there. Make sure it gets enough embossing powder. And I'm just going to put it back in there. And let's emboss it. Okay, so now that we've got that, I think I want to add some color. I think I'm going to add, let's see, from Ephy. I'll just use, I think I'll keep it simple. These two I'll keep simple. I'm going to add these to some black paper. That way it can get stronger and sturdier. And I'm going to do some of these other elements the same way. So I've decided to use brown cardstock instead of black cardstock to glue these two, or back these up with. So we're going to glue them and then we're going to cut them back out. I'm just going to show you my little process. All right, so I'm going to cut these back out. But before I cut them out, I think I will take a black Morphone. No, that's too dark too. I need some type of a marker to go around the edges to highlight some of these elements. Trying to think of what I have in my stash. I do have some distressed crayons, Walnut Stain and Vintage Photo. So I'm just going to play around with it. I haven't really used it much. Did I break that or I don't know. I'm just going to go around the edge. And I'm just going to try to like blend it. I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but we're just going to work with it. Okay, so I got these cut out, and now we're going to glue them together, the background and then the foreground. And I'm just going to go around just the edges of it. Because like I said, I want to be able to put those coffee cups inside. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this one in here. I'm not going to glue it in there because I want to still be able to take it out. But the original, hold on, let me slide that down a little bit. It's about right there. The original image, this right here, hold on, let me just set this here. This right here kind of covers that, or supposed to kind of cover it a little bit, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this upper part to where this can still come out though. Hold on. Bear with me. This is all like I'm trying to figure this all out all at one time. You're learning with me as I'm learning. And then I can go ahead and completely glue the rest of this part of it down. Because that other cup is going to go over top of it. Okay. Well, yeah. Let me cut like a little portion of this. Yeah, that way it fits down in there good. And then let me just take a black marker and go around that edge. It's not going to be perfect, but that's fine. I'm just going to dab my finger over this crayon and kind of blend that in a little bit. So we've got that. And then this is going to go down inside. Oh, but you know what I need to do? Okay, because this is going to still be able to come out and behind here. But what I need to do is put a little bit of glue just to kind of hold this cup in place. So I need to put it in the middle so that it has it. Each cup has its own little slot. This one goes here. And then this one's going to go here. And we've got our little cup holder. And then what I think I'm going to do, it says from Ephy. I think I'll put it like right here. I don't know, we'll see. It's what I like. Let it swivel. Maybe I'll put it off from to the side. Anyway, we've got these little embellishments. Now we got to make our little door. Okay, so we need to decide what size of a door that we're going to make, because this is going to, well, I need like a background first of all. So this is going to sit like at the doorstep. So we're going to have a door and some steps, and then I'm going to have somewhere to put like DoorDash, and then, you know, and I need to make it within a decent size to fit into a journal. So this little cup holder, coffee cup holder, is roughly 1 3/4 inches, not quite 2 inches. So, and it's going to sit like, okay, I'm have to create, well, I was going to say I have to create a background, but I might not create a background. I might just actually do just the door, and this is going to be connected to the door. So, I don't want the door too big. So I will probably make it like, it'll come to about 3 inches. So the coffee cup and the door is going to end up being roughly about 3 inches. So let me just mark where I need to cut it at. So maybe about right there. And then I'll probably make it about this tall, about right here. And that's approximately about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So roughly 5 inches. So 3 by 5. Let me just cut this door at that height. 3 by 5. Okay, and I'm gonna take about 1/2 inch off. Or 1/4 inch. Yeah, I'll just take 1/4 inch off. Okay, and I'm going to also use this gorgeous, I love this pattern that I received from Michelle Garnto. She's my swap partner. And I got all these little goodies in here that she sent me. She sent me a whole bunch of stuff. So we're going to make a door using part of her, this embossed paper. Gorgeous paper. Love the colors. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have to kind of draw this out. So I'm going to cut out a 2 3/4 inch. Actually, yeah. So if this was 3 by 5, then I need 4 3/4. Oh, I don't want to mess this up. I need 4 3/4. And I took a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 of an inch off of that one, so it would have been 2 3/4 instead of 3. So this is going to be 2 1/2. So this would go like that. And then we need some like inner pieces that would be, instead of 2 3/4, I'm confusing myself. Instead of 4 3/4, it'd be 4 1/2. So 4 1/2. Four and a half by 1 3/4, or by 2. 4 1/2 by 2, or 2 1/4 actually, because that other one was 2 1/2. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these same distress crayons. I'm going to go around the edges. And then I'm just going to blend them in. Okay, so we have these 3, which can sit on top of each other like this. And then now we're going to need like the inner part of the door. So I'm going to make cut out 2 1 3/4 inches by 1 1/2 inches. So, but I like how she's got like this outer part of the embossing folder. So I'm going to cut, now this side doesn't have as much on it, so I'm going to cut from this side. So let me turn it like this. So 1 3/4 inches, 1 3/4 inches. Now I am going to take a little piece of this off, these little sides. That way I can get the right side that I need, by 1 1/2 inch. So 1 3/4 by 1 1/2. I think, is that right? Or is it supposed to be 2? I think I better do 2 inches. Yes, 2 inches. And then I like how there's still a little bit of leftover. I'm just going to cut down a little piece for the middle. And it doesn't have to be perfect, that cut size. And it isn't, so, but I'm totally content with it. And I'm going to probably round off these edges. I don't know if I want to round it. Well, I want to cheat with rounding these little edges off. I'm literally just going to kind of do like that. And do like that. It's not perfect, but hey, it's somewhat rounded off. And then I'm just going to take some of this blue speckled egg and then just take my finger over it and just kind of rub that in, because my finger still has some of that distress crayon on it, so I'm getting a combination of both colors down in there. And then I'm going to add some embossing glaze to it. But I'm wondering if I should do blue or if I should do a clear. Well, this is speckled egg, so I don't want to mess it up, but I'm just going to put like a little bit. Like, I'm not even going to cover the whole entire portion of it. I'll just get like little bits and pieces of it. I don't really see much of a sheen. I don't think it did. I'm not impressed with that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this Distress Micro Glaze to some of it. And then we'll try it again. Okay, so this turned out pretty decent. I like the sheen on there. So I'm just going to take the Vintage Photo Distress Crayon, and we're just going to go around the edges of it. So that it can have a little bit of shadow as well as the backgrounds. Okay, so now we need something. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and glue these on, but I think, no, I'm not going to round my edges. I'm just going to go ahead and glue these together. And try to make sure I line it up right. And then we're going to create some crackle effects on this background. I'm going to get, I have a stamp, like a crackle stamp, and I think I'm going to use it. Okay, so I have some of these Bow Bunny Rough It Up stamps, and they have like crackle and different textures. So I'm going to use the wood grain and the crackle stamps on here. And I'm going to use some of this archival ink, jet black. And I'm just going to randomly just put these wherever. I'm just going to stamp some textures into there. And then I'm just going to take some Distress embossing glaze. Let me move this out the way. I'm going to use the blue speckled egg, and we're going to emboss these images. But before I do that, I'm actually, hold on, here it is. I'm just going to take some of this, what is this, Distress glaze, and I'm just going to stamp in random spots using that same stamp, because I feel like it picks up a little bit better than some of those other inked images. Okay, so I'm just going to add some of this Distress speckled egg on here. Oops. I almost made a mess out of it. Okay, then I'm just going to take some speckled egg, Distress oxide, and then I'm just going to kind of blend it in. Okay, and then we're going to glue these on here. And then we're going to need like a step for this to sit on. Hold on, this is coming out. Let me glue this shut. So, I was looking for my my textures with the crackle. I was looking for that stamp, and I ended up finding this one. I forgot I gotten this one years ago. And it has a little stamp of a step on there, even with a little snow. So, you know, I really want to have some fun with that. So we're going to stamp. I think I'll probably use brown. I'll use some brown archival ink for the original stamp, and then we're going to idle it up, of course, and then cut it out. Oh, if I can get it out. So let me get my stamping block. We got our brown archival ink. Okay, and we're getting ready to have some fun with this. So the image it shows semi-okay, but what I'm getting ready to do is I want to take my embossed pen. I'm just going to kind of go around the areas where there's snow. Actually, it might not mess it up, but I don't know. What I should do is I'm going to like shade in, I'll emboss it first. I'll just go ahead and go around the edges like I should, so that I get like a base kind of shape that won't get messed up when I add other colors of ink to it. So I'm going to emboss this. And I may even just add this. No, I'm just going to emboss it with some speckled eggs, since that's what we're going with. Okay, so then we need our steps to have like a certain color, so we're going to add a little bit of distressed crayon to it. But the reason why I embossed it was so that you could still see the see the shape without it ruining. So you could still tell that it's a step, you know. And then I'm just going to come back through with the white embossing, I mean not white embossing, but the white Morphone acrylic paint pen. And we're going to go around those edges, which is what I was originally wanting to do anyway. We're going to go around the areas where the snow is. And then I've got this holographic embossing powder. I'm just going to add a little bit over top. And then we're just going to cut these out, or cut it out. And I'm going to add it to some brown cardstock, and then we're going to assemble it to the door. And then we're just going to assemble these. I'm just going to put DoorDash right here. And then we've got our little cups. And I'm just going to glue this cup to the bottom, or this cup holder to the bottom of the step. I think I'll just set it like right here. And I'll just glue from Ephy. I'll glue that on there. And this little note that I can stick down in there with the coffee. And I think it needs like a wreath or something on the door. So I can just stamp from this same image. Or from the same stamp set, not the same image. I'm going to stamp it twice, and I'll probably emboss it. And I'm going to use some of this peeled paint. Oops. It's not very dark. And then I'm going to use some, what is this? Rustic Wilderness embossing pattern over top. Okay, so I stamped, embossed, and distressed these. And then I decided I can't talk straight. I decided that I needed a little wreath, poinsettia to go with the wreath, a wreath. And so, and then I'm going to add a little piece of cheesecloth. So we're basically just going to glue these two together with a piece of cheesecloth in the middle. And I can trim some of it if I need to. I might just leave it. I don't know. We'll see. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue this to the door. And we're going to glue this poinsettia. And make sure I have enough glue on here. Don't want that to come off. Glue that to the middle. And we're pretty much almost done, but I feel like I need something behind here, like a little tree or something. Let's see. Okay, so there's a little wee bitty stamp like this right here with the gift. So I'm going to use it. Let me get my little stamping block. I'm just going to use some fired brick. And I'm just going to stamp it on here. It's enough to just give it a little bit of color. And then I think I'm going to put the, should I put it up here? This 522. I'm going to act as though that's the house number. And, yeah, let me just kind of cut that out. And we're going to edit that. I'm going to go over it a little bit with some of this black marker, more foam paint pen. I'm going to go ahead and first, I'm going to stress around the edge with archival ink. Then I'm going to go around with some archival jet black. The other one was coffee. This one's jet black. Then we're just going to glue it to this brown coffee copy paper. Not copy paper, but cardstock. And while it's on there, I'm going to go ahead and do a little embossing on it, because, you know, I've got to edit it. I meant to take out a black foam ink pen. Here we go. Just going to go around the edge. We'll use some clear detail embossing powder. I'm not quite satisfied with that, so I think I need to do it again. Okay, so here we have so far. And I went on ahead and embossed all that. And I was trying to determine, should I put it up here or should I put it in the middle? I think I'm just going to put it in the middle. And I'm going to lift it up with using one of my foam mount dots. Use some of this foam tape right here. And so we're going to lift that up. Oops. I'm just going to put that right there. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. It's already sticky, but I don't know. And I still use art glitter glue or some type of a glue, even on my foam mounting tapes, just to make sure that it's going to stay. So that's pretty much it on this side. And then I'm going to glue this to the back of some blue paper. I'm just going to add the art glitter glue and glue it directly on there. I thought about stitching around the edges, but I don't think I'm going to stitch on this project. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. And then I'm going to cut this out into that same shape. And actually, I had this little letter right here, but I think I'm just going to put it here as if like it's a stray letter that just landed on the doorstep. And then I'm going to cut this out. And we'll decorate the back a little bit. Okay, so we have a solid background, but I don't like that. So what I'm thinking about doing is, I had a leftover piece of the word Dephemerember on canvas. I think I'm going to cut that out, or part of the word Dephemerember, and I'm going to have to improvise because part of it got cut off. So I'm going to have to fill in the blanks for Dephemerember. And then maybe I can cut Ephy out. That. I don't think I'll use Ephy. I'll save him for another project. But I will use the Dephemerember. I'm just going to glue this on, and I'm going to improvise. So this is pretty much it. So I hope that my partner will enjoy this. Yeah, so she can make it into a journal card or whatever. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos and my blog and my social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.